Well, we made it through the Ides of March. We made it through St. Patrick's Day. I don't know what other crazy days we made it through, but we're almost to Easter or Oster. I'm gonna ask Westwood about that one. Um, it's happy hour, and apparently I got the wrong week for Amy Weir's birthday, so I apologize. But it's almost my dear friend Amy Weir's birthday, so we're gonna celebrate early anyway. Tell her we love her. It is Friday, so grab something red, wear something red, drink something red, but don't drink red dye number whatever, because I heard it gives you cancer. Maybe somebody should ask old Kate Middleton about that. But um, happy hour Friday, you guys. I don't even know where to go with this. I've already been talking to Westwood way too long. My brain's already messed up. But jump in the live chat. We will kick it off and see what the fam bam has to say right after this. Happy almost Amy Weir's birthday, Westwood.
HAAWB Hob. Happy almost Amy Weir's birthday Hob Day.
Lord.
Can I get a Hob Day, please?
So I have been thinking I was going to order something for her, and then thinking, okay, well, I need to do it by this. And then I thought I missed the day. And so then I haven't missed the day. So it's kind of a good and a bad thing. Anyway.
Because I don't think it's this weekend.
Do you feel like you're in a time warp right now, though?
Let's do the time. Okay. No, there's something wrong. There's definitely something, askew. Let's put it that way. I don't know if it's wrong. Maybe it's right. Askew. Maybe it's the right thing. But something is definitely, we're in turbulent waters, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. I just bouncing around a little bit. I told you, it's just, something's going to just like, whoosh, blow us over or something.
3 days ago, Governor Stitt gave an announcement and told everybody happy AG Day, capital A, lowercase g, Ag Day.
Oh, that's
thanks
silver.
To all the farmers. That's silver, though, right?
Silver, yeah, silver, and then AU is gold, right? Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't that good in chemistry. I got through it, but
yeah, periodic table. Happy Agriculture Day. He said
Ag Day, Silver Day.
Silver Day.
Thorand. He's jumping for joy hearing that.
Yeah. And it was the day that, I believe it was the same day that the lady that my dear friend, Jill Casita, who created the Roger app for the military, spoke on Bloomberg about it. So Roger that.
Nice.
There's just a lot of things that are strange.
People are strange. When you're a stranger, faces look ugly when you're alone. Probably going to get demonetized for that.
Probably
because I didn't sing it.
Snapped while you sang it.
But I said it.
Hey, what movie is
Dances with Wolves?
Oh no, that's terrible. Never mind.
She
was playing a game and trusted me to know a movie. Oh, poor girl.
Who are we talking about?
A friend of mine sent me this. Terry's girl was standing on the surety, Lynette milking some money, when this handsome guy pinking hitting his friend's car hurt Tory Breton. Pro wake hot in the car spun him and went to Joe's hotel. eBay, no, or is this something? And she's like, what movie is this?
I don't know.
Like, I have no idea. I said, sounds like you had a crazy weekend. But then she told me they were playing a game and you have to like text a random person from your phone.
Oh, yeah. I got you. So it was because it was okay.
She says it's Pretty Woman, but I don't know that. Sounds weird to me.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Very weird.
Pretty Woman. Roy Orbison, Pretty Woman. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm just like blowing up
all over the road,
like George Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So
How's it going?
here we are. It's Friday night. It's after 7 Central Time. You got a cigar.
I'm exhausted.
Lisa's exhausted. I got I don't know, 8/10, 9/10 of a cigar. I've got 3/4 of a gin and tonic. It's dark. And I'm wearing Digibite glasses.
I've got white glasses.
Anyway, Blues Brothers stuff. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
so the SEC,
what's happening? Hot stuff.
their ass handed to them. That's kind of exciting. The SEC.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw the SEC lost a bunch of games in basketball. Right out of the game. Oh, you're talking about Gary Gensler. Okay.
Okay. So then Bloomberg, the bell closes today, 3:00 my time, our time, 4:00 Eastern, and they're talking about something, and they start talking about basketball.
Oh, like the dial, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, and they start talking about basketball, and I'm like, why are they talking about basketball?
It's the tournament, the NCAA tournament. It's all the basketball.
Are they, or are they really talking about the other 3 letters?
I don't know.
Everything
has double meanings. It's double entendre. That's the way it is. There's multiple layers of meanings in every word.
Very true. That's why Latin is so great.
Like Cliff said, we need to read the Talmud and dig into that stuff.
That's really creepy, though.
I'm serious. It's like, holy crap. Okay. Goy. How you doing, Goy? Yeah, good stuff. All the truth is being revealed. It's all coming out, and you're seeing it. All the things that we thought were, I don't know, all the myths that we believed in are starting to get unwound, and you can be in denial or not. I talked to somebody today at a little local shop, and he says, "What is with these people? They actually believe, that our pretender in chief they're going to vote for him again?" I'm like, I don't know. How it doesn't make sense. How are you wired that way? I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
I won't go any more into the discussion that we had, but yeah.
Well,
it came down to there's a certain percentage of people that are not wired right for whatever reason.
But are they more like NPCs that they're like just so?
Kinda, I think so. I think that's a lot of
really.
Yeah, because
not engaged, they're just kind of.
Maybe. Because there's a certain segment of, and let's just pick on the unions. Just because it's an easy target at this point. I grew up around a bunch of guys, in the union, and they always vote Democrat. That's the way it is. We always vote Democrat. It does not matter who it is. If it's got a D in front of it, they're voting for it, and that's just the way it was. That's just the way it is, and usually farmers will vote Republican. It's just kind of the way it always was because, it's the narratives, and now the narratives are starting to fall apart. And if you don't change your thinking, you're like, well, what are you supporting? You're supporting this idea that doesn't exist anymore. I think it goes for both sides. It really does.
Yeah,
I just use that example. Yeah,
I did see where one representative, and I can't remember, maybe it was Colorado. Although they were not, when it went to the Supreme Court with the issue with Trump, they were not able to keep him off the ballot with the 14th Amendment. But when it was about a state representative, they decided today that he was not, because he was involved. They decided that he was involved with the J6 stuff, and so he would not be able to run or represent
at the state level.
At the state level.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because there is this huge divide between state and federal issues and rulings, and all of that seems to be that divide seems to be stronger and stronger.
Oh yeah, you're seeing a lot of things playing out in the court system, kind of more so as far as who's got jurisdiction, I guess is what it comes down to.
Yes.
Who's got the jurisdiction over these decisions? You're seeing more of that. What the Supreme Court just said that if you're an illegal alien, you can have a gun now, right? Your rights
Yeah.
are protected by the Second Amendment. The Supreme Court said that, and it makes you think, okay, maybe we need to look at this definition of alien and what that really means, because maybe we're identifying the wrong way here, because maybe
I
that
don't
way
know
might be
that
a better way.
that's wrong. People are balking at that, but
It's
if you
probably the
look
right
at what
decision because they don't have jurisdiction over them.
the Constitution is about your human rights given by God.
Right. That
And
should
so
apply to
that means
everyone, right?
every human.
Right.
And that's where
It's just the
not
people
so
that have to
much
follow the rules are the people that
No.
identify as corporate people. Right?
Aw.
You got a super chat.
Super chat from Crypto Experiences by St. Jerome. Happy birthday to us all. My present is happier. Oh, so it's St. Jerome's birthday too, man.
Oh, okay.
I think
Happy,
it is.
Maybe.
Happy
To us all, my
birthday,
present is happy
Kent.
hour. And it's everybody's birthday. Hey, every day you get up, it's a birthday. That's the way you look at it.
Oh, God.
Rebirth every day. You get rebirthed, and you choose what to do with it. What's your path going to be each day? And that's what you got to look at.
There's a lot of choices in this world, and you can get up and you can think that what do I have to do today, or what do I get to do today?
There you go. It's all about perspective.
Mm-hmm.
All about perspective. Yes, indeed. So anyway, shifting gears, maybe. What do you got to talk about? I got a few
There's
things.
so much. I mean,
$1.2 trillion. Keep the government going. Most of it's going to defense or offense, defense. Depends how you look at it.
I think it's all a lie and a joke.
Keep that going. Kick that can a little bit longer. It's all good. Keep printing that money up. Bitcoin actually has gone down. Crypto's gone down a little bit. It's not number go up all the time. It's not, straight up all the time. Sometimes it goes down. Sometimes the market, doesn't always go straight up. So be prepared for that. You're going to see more of that. Overall, it's going to go up, but just realize, there will be dips. And now everybody's scared to buy it. See, they wanted to buy it at 73,000, but now that's 62,000, 63,000. Like, oh, it could go lower, but it's 10,000 less than when you wanted to buy it last week. Yeah. It's on sale.
It's such a mind. But they did this with people in gold when they, and I can't remember what it's called, but this is how they shook weak hands, and then they mess with your mind, and so you mentally
paralyzed,
jump that hurdle to buy back in, because you're like, oh, I had the opportunity to buy it lower and I didn't, and then you're
mad about it because you're like, well, if it goes down again, then I will, because I'm bitter because I didn't buy it.
It's never going to go down again, most likely. So you will never be able to buy back in because of your own ego.
Yes, you just keep going.
No, it's the thing. That's what they did with people with gold. That's where they made the jump, because that's where they made I can't remember the numbers, but it was in the hundreds, and then they went to the 1,000, and then people they would never buy gold.
No, I'm done. I'm out. F gold.
Nope, I'm out. It passed me. I missed out on the opportunity.
I missed the train.
Missed it. You know what? When the dollar is dying every day, and you put your money into something that's holding its value, you're not missing out.
Anything that has value at that point. I mean, anything.
And that's one of the things we were going to talk about today, because we were talking about earlier. We're like, you know what? I don't even care anymore, because if you want something that is going to have use case and possibly retain its value or give you joy, do that instead of holding dirty fiat that is being stolen from you every night.
Let's stress out and have our blood pressure go up and have a heart attack because we're worried about dollar price of something going up and down. And it's like, meanwhile, over here, you could have had some freedom assets, some comfort assets that you're like, I'm good. I'm happy over here. I'm not worried about dollar price because I have these assets. Today, there's an example. What's it Litecoin today? $82 or something? Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. So what did I do? I paid with Litecoin today, and what did I buy? I bought glasses for my youngest daughter. Finally,
she
nice. Needed her eyes. She needed glasses, and finally convinced her to got to that point to where it's like, okay, quit squinting, and it's like, so we went and got all that done and bought the glasses, and I paid with Litecoin. And I'm like, I don't care if it's $82. It doesn't matter to me. The value of having glasses. If you've never worn glasses, I mean, if you bad eyes like I do, I had LASIK, and then it started getting bad, 15 years later. But
once you turn 50 and you have these laying all over the house.
Yeah, right.
And once you put them on, your wrinkles go away on your forehead.
Yeah, exactly. But you can see, and it's just like,
you can see.
How valuable is that? I don't care if it's $82 Litecoin. I don't care if it was just $105 Litecoin and I could have got them for a better deal. It's like, if you can't see, who cares what the cost is? If you ain't got any water, who cares what the cost is? If you don't have any food, who cares what the cost is? If you don't have things that can sustain you on a daily basis, who cares what the cost is? That's why you have money. You can have a mountain full of gold. And remember, there's a Twilight Zone episode. It just made me think about it. And it's, I think, Burgess Meredith or something. Anyway, he's like always walking around reading. He's got these big Coke bottle glasses on, He's always walking around reading. He's a banker. He works in the bank. And, he's always getting slapped down. He's like in the vault reading. What are you doing? Get out here and work. The break's over. And he's like, oh, if I could just read. His wife gets on him because he's always reading. He's like, all he wants to do is read. And so he goes into the bank vault one day in the basement. And then, this big rumble comes up, and there's a nuclear war. Here you are in the 50s, 60s, Oh. There's a nuclear war. A bomb went off. He goes out, and everything's in rubble. And he's like, oh, what am I going to do? Nothing works. And then he stumbles across the library. And he's like, he was in heaven because there's nothing but books, and he has all the time in the world to read. I just need more time, he kept saying. And guess what? Then his glasses break. Oh. And now he can't read. So he's like, it's pure hell at that point. You know what I mean? So it's like, you might think you have the things you need in your own possession. That's really what it comes down to. And be thankful.
And have a backup. I am the backup.
Have a backup plan. Yes.
2 bottles of Tito's and 2
you never know.
ketchups and 2 things of laundry detergent. Yeah. I'm all about having the backup.
But people live in just in time and they think, well, I'll just go to the store and get this, get that, and it's like, how can you not be prepared? We got an eclipse coming on the 8th. The world's going to end. Oh, no. It's.
And you better have your stuff by the 25th because we have a lunar eclipse coming.
The lunacy that's going to ensue.
Which is also Litecoin Day, the 84th day of the year.
Are you sure? Or is it because we got to add the leap day? Did we add the leap day?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying we got an extra day this year. So it might not be that exact date this year. It's probably a different day.
Then that would be on Palm Sunday then.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't counted.
Well.
I don't know.
Yes, you have, because you wouldn't have said that if you hadn't counted and you already know that.
Well, no, I was just thinking there's a leap day we got to take into account.
On Palm Sunday on the 24th. But Holy or Holly Day, where in India, they throw all the colors on, you wear white and they throw the colors around.
The red dye 40.
That is on, that's on the 25th on Monday. But Palm Sunday is on the
Sunday
24th.
I don't know. Yeah, that sounds right.
And that's the day that Jesus was like judged, right? Or they went and.
I don't even know. I've forgotten so much. I forgot all this.
The day that
Sunday school, used to read all this stuff, and I forgot.
Like laid the palms down, and he came in for his like judgment or whatever, right?
I don't remember. Right. You might be right.
Kent from St. George will be able to help me. Where is he?
Throw it to the chat.
Hey, Wes would say Litecoin 3 times fast.
There's no place like Litecoin.
Give us a wait. Yeah, they have to give us super chat.
Oh yeah, well forget it. I'm not saying the last one. Stick it. You can all stick it. I'm telling you, you've been warned. Every one of you. Every video I make from now on, I'm gonna say you've been warned. Look into Litecoin. You've been warned. It's like everybody's debating about, well, is Craig Wright got this? And, is it BSV? Is it BCH? Which one's the real Bitcoin? That's the real Litecoin. That's the one that works. And y'all are arguing about which is what and this and that. It's like, good. I mean, 2 pairs of glasses with Litecoin today. All right, 2.
Dang it. There was just an article. Oh, my husband just told me this and I forgot. But something just changed from... Was it PayPal or was it Coinbase? Something just changed and they are only like they changed from their main coins being like Bitcoin,
Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. Those are the 4. Now what happened?
They were. They
What
were.
happened now?
Now they are BSV.
No way.
I swear.
All right.
I think he's
My-
home.
I'm
I
on
don't
my
have
phone. I got my phone right here and I'm watching. I can't.
I don't have my phone. Let me get him to send me that article. Please send
Lies.
me article. RE. What company?
Oh, but Litecoin's still on there, right?
Yes. Movie.
Okay, of course it is.
Movie.
See, there's no confusion. All this Bitcoin confusion. I can't take the land of
BSV.
confusion. Out.
BSV, because Craig Wright won his like copyright thing.
Oh, did he?
So maybe that is the real.
But he's not
original
Satoshi.
Bitcoin.
They said he's not Satoshi, though.
That's not the point.
I know. I'm just saying. They
doesn't
say he's not
matter whether he's
Satoshi. And that was
Satoshi or
just a smoke screen.
That there was a fork, but BSV is the original.
I know. It's the original vibe of Bitcoin is what they're saying.
Right. Gets to hold the copyright of
Right.
saying they were.
Right. I get
my understanding. My layman's understanding. BSV.
I don't need the drama. That's why I'm in Litecoin. I don't need this.
Oh wait, and Ethereum was not on there either because the SEC.
Because it's a security. It's the most obvious security there is, but it's not a security. But they won't talk about it. Well, they're kind of talking about it now.
Because they don't want it to be a security. The reason that they don't want it to be a security, if anybody doesn't know, is because then Congress would have to disclose that they are holding it and or they have been paid off or been given it as a gift. And they don't want to because
all the tokens on it, all that madness.
Allegedly packed his bags. Yeah. And many other people.
Think about this. This could be a giant cash cow for the SEC, though.
What was the other one? All right, go ahead.
I don't know. Will they add a new one besides BSV?
There were two more. There was BSV, Litecoin, something and something.
I got PayPal app on my phone. Somebody chat. Open your PayPal app. What do we have? What is it? Maybe it's not on there yet. I don't know.
I don't know. He may not be home yet. I thought he was home. April Fool's Day. Yeah, I think April Fool's Day.
So now. That's how I feel. So ready. Anyway, it's Seinfeld stuff. It's like always,
the screaming.
On Seinfeld, there was, he said Superman a lot. I mean, he said like Superman multiple times in there. He referenced Superman. And they have a Superman statue. Anyway, it's a Seinfeld thing.
It's okay. I'm with you.
This is what happens when you're in the hyper novelty, right? Isn't this what it is? This is where we're at.
I'm like emotionally and physically. We've been packing all day to go to Tulsa. If anybody's in
you're not even living in Green Bay.
Green Bay.
The Green Bay Packers.
Oh, packing. No.
And you're not Pauly.
We'll be the Mighty Merchants Mercantile will be set up at the Tulsa Flea Market. Free admission for everyone. It's an indoor experience. If it's raining or whatever, it'll be a great place to take your family. And we have a super large booth there tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And come by and you can pay in Bitcoin or Litecoin. I'm going to pull the Ethereum because I don't want any of that stuff.
I mean, because they're going to open up and say, oh, how much for transfer fee? Oh, yeah. Can we pay in Dogecoin or Litecoin or something else?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I preach about Litecoin all the time, but and there are times where I self-reflect, I evaluate myself, and I think, am I really crazy? I mean, because you think, why is this thing not reflected in dollar value? Why is the energy? I mean, the energy's there. I mean, you're seeing hash rate go up. You're seeing it the biggest payment processor on BitPay, biggest thing used. I mean, by far. I mean, you see all that. I mean, just everything. Everything says it should be like ridiculously expensive in dollars to acquire this thing because it's so valuable. And I think to myself, am I just nuts? Am I really crazy? To think that, and then I think, I'm just so far ahead of the freaking game here. I mean, and that's why I say, this thing works so well. It's the perfect form of digital money. You've got privacy that's like rolling out right now on mobile wallets. It's been out for 2 years. And it's just, it is such a no-brainer at this point. People are going to look back and say, all the signs were there. This crazy guy in the middle of genetically modified corn that he doesn't eat. He was preaching about this stuff. Why did we not listen to him? I mean, it was so obvious. It's going to be so obvious when people look back and they're going to be, why didn't we see the signs? And I'll be like, well, I kind of was screaming all the time about it, you know? I mean, what's wrong with y'all? You know, I mean, seriously, this is like, I mean, if you ever use cryptocurrency, you're not going to use Ethereum. You're not going to use Bitcoin to go do things. And, you know, on an everyday basis, you know, big purchases, I get it, yes. But I don't know. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, well, I think the timing, the tool is right. I
mean, it's ready.
It's built and it's ready for the right time.
It's ready.
Right
it's
now,
ready for you. It's ready for you when you wake up.
We need options where we can transact in a public ledger and force our officials to transact in a public ledger. But we also need the option to have privacy. There's gaming abilities. There's NFT abilities. I was just on WBRT with Joe from Dragon Chain. They're releasing an amazing project with, and they are considering changing chains. It will be on Dragon Chain, but they are also confirming or working in parallel. Right now it's on Ethereum, but I was like, why would you do that with all the stuff with the securities and all that? And I was like, you need to look into Litecoin.
Something.
And he had been asking me about it a couple months ago. And so I'm curious if they're going to possibly use the ordinals or the NFT capability on Litecoin to build. They're building these dragon. So they're like these eggs, and the artwork on them he forgot to share the artwork today on the show. So then he shared it with us after the show. And oh Lord, Westwood's tripping. But he's going to share it next week, and they're amazing. Like, and they're all, so the way that the NFTs are populated, it's not like random, like most NFTs where it's like, oh, well, there's just so many that have a hat and you just randomly get it. It's going based off of what your hash is. So like the hash of your, how it ties in with the Bitcoin hash or whatever, or if they use Litecoin or whatever, the last two digits, if it's an 01, then it's like an earth dragon. If it's a 10, then it's a fire dragon. If it's a 00, it's a air dragon. If it's a 11, then it's a whatever the other dragon is. I can't remember. Water, maybe. Yeah. Earth, air, water, fire, all the things. I can't hear you. Your microphone is on your other shirt.
What?
Your microphone is on your other shirt. So we can't hear you. But these are the problems when you have late night happy hour. So thus.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That's live. That's what happens. This is when you don't have production and you don't have, you know, a blockchain sponsoring you, you know, that just got created, or I should say a smart contract that got created on Ethereum that dumped a bunch of tokens and raised a bunch of money sponsoring you, and you're shilling it. This is the real deal, folks. Yeah. We're talking about Litecoin that we're investing our own energy in at a rock bottom price of $82. Right now, you can get yourself one Litecoin be 100 times the average person in this world. It's up to you. Choose wisely.
And I did want to jump in and answer Warrior's question really quick. Yeah. No, the Mighty Merchant sales do not go to Team Mighty. Mighty Merchant is a private family business that I use to support myself and my family.
They go to feeding.
It goes to turning my lights on in my home.
Yeah.
And allowing me to eat food and things like that. So I appreciate any support.
Are we doing drinking games or something? Somebody said take a shot. Another shot. Mark Ween.
So they have created a drinking game where every time you say Litecoin, they have to drink.
I got to be careful. I'm not going to be responsible for y'all. Litcoin. That's what it's going to be. Litcoin. See, I didn't say it. But that's what's going to happen.
It's funny.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway. Well, cool. I'm glad you can all entertain yourselves, and it's very good that, you know, we can facilitate some mind changes, I guess you could say, on a Friday night. I don't know, some spiritual changes that might be occurring in your body right now. Litecoin! There you go.
Mm-hmm. Logan Act. Why do I have the Logan Act pulled up?
Yeah, what troops on the street or something, or what is that? The one where the foreign people can't go to the other country, or sorry, non-elected people can't be going to other countries, or is that where you've got troops on the street? I don't remember the Logan Act.
I don't know.
Standing armies.
Oh, here's one of the eggs. This is an air. I think this is an air egg in the air environment.
It's the year of the dragon, we know, right?
Yeah, it's the year of the dragon. Here's
and
an
it's wood dragon, right?
Dragon egg in the earth. These were really cool, and he explained all of it. So if you guys want to watch that, I do have the video on my.
I was buying glasses today, so I missed it.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I don't know. I'm going to get involved in it. I think it's really cool, and the art's cool. And then they talked about how the whole like breeding program is, and then they're gonna and there's people that are like building games on the thing, and I don't know, doing all kinds of things.
Maybe I'm down for a little dragon husbandry. Well, you know, get into that. We'll see.
Lord. Whitney Webb has a new report out.
Oh, I just looked at her books today that are collecting dust that I didn't finish. How ironic.
I have
synchronistic.
And I may take him to Tulsa tomorrow and read them while I'm driving while he's driving, while I'm riding.
While I'm driving, I'm just going to.
Tulsa. Yeah.
While I'm texting and driving, I might read a book.
No, I will be riding.
Reminds me of a guy I once knew that I met in Phoenix. But.
Oh, yeah. Hey, their Tennessee governor signs the Elvis Act into law.
Elvis? Like the pelvis?
Elvis. Yep. Elvis the pelvis. So it protects musicians from AI abuses. I think this is part of protecting our AI, or not our AI, I'm sorry, our IP.
Intellectual property.
Yeah, as well.
Or nil.
Yes.
Name, image, and likeness.
So I think that's a good thing. The Attorney General in Oklahoma is pushing for legislation to address arresting illegal immigrants, which I was happy to hear about that.
Wait, but maybe I'm not illegal. Maybe I'm just an alien. I don't know.
No, well, that might be concerning, but let's see. This was the Congress hates the designation of Ethereum as a security so much because under the classification, they would have to require the disclosing of their Ethereum holdings. Hinman was so amazingly urgent in delivering his speech because just 1 week after it, a rule came into effect stating that only cryptocurrencies explicitly exempt from securities regulation by SEC officials are exempt from the disclosure. U.S. Congress was able to legally insider trade Ethereum, allegedly. So this is where, so all of this started with Hinman. A lot of people want to blame like Gensler and even Clayton.
Right.
But a lot of this was pre-Trump. This was under Hinman. And I think people should do their homework.
I think they let this thing go. They knew how this was going to play out. That's my theory on all this. They knew exactly how this was going to play out. And if you know how things are going to play out, you can definitely ensnare some people in the process, I guess, if you look at it that way. You know, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Well, I think
you know what I mean. They kind of let this stuff go, let you entrap yourself, let you do all these things, get involved in it.
The argument that I have with that Sean and I get screaming at each other because and even me and Joe got a little sideways because he's like they were elected by or put in position by not Hinman, but Clayton was put in position by Trump, and I said yes because it exposes them.
Yeah. Bigger.
It's exposing these criminals. Let them sit in the hot seat. No, you don't get to go do the dirty deeds and then run away. and leave someone else to
And
take.
you're right. And I think it's bigger than that even. It's like, oh, yeah, go ahead and invest in it. Go ahead and do all your shenanigans with it. Oh, do you realize, if you're using an Ethereum address, we can track like
We can
everything that ever
see
happened on
all
that
of it.
address?
Yeah.
Go ahead. And then it comes back and it's like, oh, how convenient, that you got all the records.
And that's that Trojan horse. So when I was
Right.
doing interviews with Jim Willie, he was telling me that like one of his military insider people were explaining it as a Trojan horse,
Yes.
and that they thought they asked to build something to where they could still be in control and they could control everything. And or that how did they say it? I can't remember how he said it, but they could see everything or they could control everything. And he was like, they got a Trojan horse and it's like they got it delivered and it's like, oh no, you can control yours, but we can see everything kind of thing.
Go ahead.
And so, yeah,
Keep
that's
playing.
what actually happened.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately this is a whole, the whole thing goes away if we all wake up. I mean, so it doesn't matter. But, since not enough people are waking up soon enough, I hope that all these things have been put in place because they're all there to ensnare a lot of the evil and expose the evil. And because the evil people are going to keep doing it because they're so damn arrogant, they think, oh, I'm still getting away with it. I ain't going to jail. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, baby. We're going to keep on keeping on until it all comes out. And then people really wake up and say, oh, you did all this? All this? Even though,
they may be moving people in different positions to get from doing something else. So there's a theory that Obama pardoned a lot of people for doing very, very nefarious things.
Everything.
And so they may be getting got for other things now publicly in other positions, like, Gary, he wrote the checks.
Right. He was involved in it.
Yes.
He saw it.
Russia. All of that stuff. I mean, he said it in his own words in the hearings, all of that. So the fact that, he may not have been the person doing the Hinman stuff during the SEC, but if you look at his history and with Perkins Coie and being involved with,
that one.
with Hillary's campaign and all that, he was the treasurer on her campaign. So
I
don't think he's a good guy. But I'm just a little homeschool mom, and I'm not a lawyer. What do I know?
Right. And then he was buddies with, or co-teachers with what's her name? Caroline from Alameda, SBS.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was her parents.
Yeah, that was her daddy who was buddies or worked with Gensler, or taught with Gensler, or maybe oversaw Gensler. I mean, come on. But that's the thing. Nobody's talking about that now. It came out early and then it went away. How do you deny these connections? How do you not? I mean, how is that not relevant? It's kind of really relevant.
Yeah. If Westwood or I got caught doing something bad, someone would think the other one of us knew about it. But not these people.
I know nothing. Schultz. I know nothing. I know nothing. Nothing. Yeah. It's such a sham. I mean, it's so obvious. And, I guess at some point it all just dumps and it becomes very obvious and you can't deny it. It's just, and then you make it, you make a decision to be evil and participate in the evil and going forward, which you're going to lose. I mean, you can't win. I mean, the light always conquers the darkness and it just can't. It just can't go on. I mean, it won't go on. I mean, it's just enough people. I mean, there's so many people they're just done with that. Just done with the madness.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
I know. I hear you. Absolutely. I hear you. Absolutely. I went. I went to Zombieland, like I said today, and man, oh man,
it's exhausting.
It really is exhausting. I mean, you look around and it's sad in a way because I'm like, you people. I shouldn't say you people. I shouldn't say everybody. It's not everybody. I'm sweeping generalization, man. I got my big broom out right now. I'm going to put the broom away. And I'm going to, there are so many people who still aren't awake in society And I just, it just baffles me. I mean, it really does. How can you not see what's going on? How do we keep just like thinking we're going to keep on keeping on? I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the eclipse or eclipses on the 25th lunar eclipse and then leading up to the 8th? Everyone's talking about it.
I know.
Is it just a big distraction?
It's probably a nothing burger if everybody's talking about it. You know what I mean? That's kind of my thinking. I mean, if anything, it could be a more of a spiritual thing. Everybody's looking for, oh my gosh, they're going to release gas over everybody in the eclipse path, or they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and they, oh, we got mobilized. I got inside information. My buddy's at Homeland Security, and this is what they're briefing on. They've been preparing for this for 2 years. All these things. If it's leaking out and it's kind of getting into the public consciousness, I mean, it probably isn't going to happen. Like you think it's going to happen, but I think it's something deeper at a deeper spiritual level. I think things are changing. Think about what 2012, everybody's talking about the Mayan calendar, the world's going to end. But I think that was like the marker. You think about 2012 to now, how everything's accelerated and kind of where we're going, and how people really are awakening and spiritually awakening. And I mean, I think we're in that time frame, and these are just hallmarks in the sky, designating that, like road markers, I guess. I don't know. Could something happen? Yeah, because they like to plan things around events, and you know what I mean. But the fact that everybody's talking about it, we're going to have outages, we're going to have this, we're going to have that, it makes me think it's probably not going to happen. If that makes sense.
I'm just thinking, Trump had said that we would all get new phones by Christmas. And I still keep going back to, they're showing more and more about, Elon putting up satellites and rockets.
Hey, when I get my RV, I'm going to Starlink, and I'm going to, wherever I go, I'm going to have Starlink, and I'm going to, do that. F it.
And that would be a, from what we believe or what we've been told is that the other satellite system was corrupted, and that's how they stole the election. Was through, the Roman Italian government.
Oh yeah, all that. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's been exposed multiple times. You can find the information out there through Leonardo and all that information. So if they have to shut that system down so that we can have a fair election through Starlink, and we're going to go to Mars,
right?
And with our new Tesla phones or whatever. And they could be handed out by the military.
Could be
with our MREs because
could be
the power's down, and I mean it could be pretty easy,
Right. And here's the way I look at it. I think everything. Okay, face it. Everything should have collapsed by now, right? 2008, everything should have collapsed. They kept papering it over. They kept it going. We should have been. I mean, things should have just like broken by now. And the only thing I can think of is, just like I've said before, and this just resonates with me, and I say it, that in order to, the best scenario forward is, listen, we got this giant freaking sequoia, redwood, whatever it is. It's dying. Takes a long time to die and fall down, but it's still got a root system. And then here we are over here building, rather than cut the thing down and end it, I'm symbolically, I'm saying, rather than just, hit the mute button, hit the red button, like Catherine Austin Fitts says, rather than do that, okay, let's sustain this thing as long as it can cripple along, but build a parallel system out of the root system of it, because, the root system's still good. It's just this tree's not bearing fruit. And so we spring forth. And so that makes sense to me at a iconic level, I guess, or a paradigm level, symbolic level, whatever it is. It makes sense to me that those systems would be built using the decaying old money crap system, to where you're building the new shoot off the root and building a new tree, a new structure off that root.
Where we'll use
so that instead of like going dark and Mad Max, it transitions. You know what I mean?
So for a time, we'll use hard assets to exchange with each other until we can figure out how to do peer-to-peer.
Right. And I mean, we can do peer-to-peer. That's the beautiful thing. We have the ability to do peer-to-peer as long as the internet's up. Well, I mean, if Starlink's like up, then we can still do peer-to-peer.
Mhm.
And there's other ways to do it. But, I mean, that's the big thing with electronic money. If you don't have the internet up, what you going to do when there's no web nets? You know, you better have your gold and silver and your lead, boy. You know, and that's kind of the old school thinking. But, I mean, okay, if that's where it goes and we go full-blown, whatever that movie was, I don't even know what it was that the Obamas produced. If we go full-blown that, okay, yeah, I get it. But who wants to live in that kind of freaking world? I mean, we've got all this technology and we're just going to waste it and shut it down. Give me a break. So, I don't know. I'm just
ready for some more disclosure. Oh, did you see the whole thing about the Nickelodeon?
Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider thing. There's a whole. So they showed the first episode on Twitter, a 45-minute episode. And then, look at my cute dog. They showed a 45-minute episode on Twitter, and then I guess it's on the full like series or whatever is on HBO or HBO Max or whatever it's called.
I'm not sure what it's on. I have seen it. It's not. What's it called? I keep thinking Open Secret. That's not what it is. It's what's the name of the thing?
No, it's HBO Max. It's like a
mainstream. No, I mean the title of the show.
Oh,
I mean,
what's it
called? Yeah, the series, the little 3-part series or whatever it is. What's it called? Somebody in the chat knows. But anyway,
it's called like something like Blackout Children's. It says something about like Blackout and something about children. So I don't know. Maybe that's the Blackout that we were waiting for. This was also exciting. The Argentina president, Javier Milei, has shut down and boarded up the Argentine Central Bank. That's good stuff. What is this? Oh, this was crazy. Where they were saying that a president cannot order an elite military to kill a political rival. I guess Donald Trump had to bring that up in court and get that passed. So you could see, Westwood, you are muted. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm in a side discussion.
Okay.
All right.
No, you're good. Just wanted to make sure you knew. So the we're on the 19th, Donald Trump had a amicus in the Court of Appeals in DC, and they did conclude that a president cannot have a elite military unit kill a political rival. It would be a crime to do so.
Well, that would probably be a good thing that doesn't happen, right?
Well, I mean, what'd they do to Osama, whatever?
Right. A political rival.
Rival?
I mean, anybody's a rival at that point if you got the ability to shoot them down with impunity.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. Did you see the videos that were on Twitter of the drones that got, the drone strikes that got leaked in the Middle East? Where you had 4 guys walking along, in the midst of destruction, and they just took them out.
Oh my gosh.
Innocent people. It's horrific. I mean, it's really horrific. And this has been going on, though. And see, that's the thing. Everybody thinks, this is terrible. Oh, you think this wasn't happening? I mean, right. Obama was sitting in the White House, playing drone games. And then so now we've got a country that, everybody in Congress is begging to send money to defend them with the Iron Dome. They're just blasting people with drone strikes. They're just walking innocently down a path. And, we shouldn't be supporting anybody else's military. I mean, we have too much military as it is. I don't know. I'm just
nobody asked me home. If I would
bring everybody home.
Somebody, yeah.
I mean, and it's just I don't know. Sick people running things. Sick people, evil people running things. And they find their way to the top. Imagine that. How does that happen?
Yeah. What do you think about Melania's comments about this?
Stay tuned. Mrs. Trump, are you going to return to the campaign trail with your husband? Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Are you going to return to the campaign trail with your husband, Mrs. Trump? She says, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I mean,
And you know, her dresses are usually comms.
Yeah, she definitely puts messaging out.
What do you think about this? And then there was this
I'm trying
day?
to see it. I'm blind. I need new glasses.
Okay, so I think this was the day, and then the next day there was the fire up on the World Trade Center.
That looks like charred white something.
Doesn't it look like smoke?
Yeah, it looks like smoke or burnt, something burned, like charred on a white, pristine color. Yeah, that's interesting.
And then there was, I think it was this day or the next day where was the fire on the World Trade Center on the roof. And they said it was like put out, no one was hurt, but it was like the air conditioning system or something.
Probably some antenna, probably some transmitter got smoked. Hopefully.
Very strange.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, we're watching. This is just my feeling. We're watching. They always used to work behind the scenes, and it's not always bad guys. I mean, there are elite families that control things, but don't think that they're all evil. I mean, you know what I mean? There's always good and evil struggle. It's a struggle, spiritual struggle, a human struggle, all the time, good and evil. Because think about it. I mean, even if you were enticed to get to the highest levels and do these things, I mean, at some level, you're still a human being and you have a conscience. Most people do. Some people don't, that rise to power. But if you're still a human being, and not a reptoid or a reptilian, you still have a conscience. And even if you get to that highest level, I mean, it doesn't mean that you look at it one day and you wake up and say, wow, this is not self-actualizing. This is not good for humanity. I'm going to do something good. I am going to work within this system to undermine this system and undermine the forces that are evil. So this battle has been going on at top levels behind the scenes. That's my point, for a long time. And I think we're starting to see it spill out into like our own purview now, whereas we were kept in the dark for so long, but it's so hard to keep things in the dark now. There's so much technology, and they want to enslave us with technology, but with that weapon comes the ability for us to have more information and wake up and see more things than we ever could see before. You can't keep it hidden. I mean, and you think about all the things that get exposed. I feel like it's coming to the forefront now, and we're actually seeing the forces behind the scenes spill onto the stage. They used to be behind the set, having their, whatever's going on, but now it's on the stage and we're starting to see it. And I mean, you got to judge accordingly. You got to use discernment, what's right and what's wrong at this point. But I just feel like, all that stuff that's been hidden, all the things, the machinations behind the scenes, it's starting to come out.
For more than 100 years. Well, probably thousands of years.
Thousands of years, yeah. I mean, you think about ancient cultures, the priest withheld the knowledge, the priest not being Catholic, but I mean, yes, that too. But being, the ones at the top of the pyramid kind of thing, all that's starting to spill out, and all the things that they tried to conceal and hide and, is starting to spill out, and there's no denying it. And I think that's what has to happen, though. I mean,
it is the education too. This interview where Elon's talking with this guy, Don Lemon or whatever, and
yeah.
And he's explaining that like this is going to backfire on the Dems. They're illegal. The census, so remember the clip where Sleepy Joe goes, "It's not the votes that counts. It's
who counts the votes."
The votes.
I mean, that's like Stalin-esque.
The Electoral College.
Yeah.
I believe. And the Electoral College is affected by the population, which is judged or affected by the census.
Right.
Well, illegal immigrants are not counted in the census. And so this could backfire. This clip is pretty, I don't know, it's pretty good from old Elon.
Roll the clip.
President Biden's
Roll it.
immigration plan to open up the border. You said that the president is getting, and Democrats are doing it to get more votes. But undocumented immigrants cannot vote in federal elections. So how is that possible?
Right. Well, you're conflating two things. One is great replacement theory. The other is, which I don't subscribe to that. I'm simply saying that there is an incentive here. If legal immigrants, which I think have a very strong bias to, at least everything I've read, it's a very strong bias to vote Democrat. The more that come into the country, the more they're likely to vote in that direction. But it is, in my view, a simple incentive to increase voters, Democrat voters. And yeah, so the question is like how? So there's a few ways that this works. One is that when the census is done, the census is based on all people in an area, whether they are citizens or not.
Oh, okay.
So
there
if
you go.
there are a concentration of people who came here illegally in a particular state or in a particular state, that state will actually then get an increased number of House seats.
So our
So
census
the
is
House seat
broken.
apportionment is proportionate to the number of people, not the number of citizens.
Our electoral college is
So
broken.
the illegals overwhelmingly go to places like California and New York, and if you just look at the math, if you look at the apportionment with and without illegals, I believe California would lose. I believe the blue state, there would be a net loss of blue states of approximately 20 seats in the House. This also applies to the electoral college. So you say, like, well, this also applies to electing the president, because the electoral votes are also done by apportionment the same way that House seats are done.
But the reason, Elon, the electoral college is in place is to balance that, is so that doesn't happen. So what you're saying about it is the exact opposite of the reason why the electoral college is there. The electoral college at this point, in our history, gives people who are in smaller states and red states much more of an influence over our elections than people who are in blue states, and the majority of the people in this country. That's what the electoral college does. It actually does the
Apparently
exact
not.
opposite of what you're saying. It protects people who are in smaller states and protects people who are in red states.
Well,
The red states, because they tend to be smaller and less populous.
I think that statement is what you said is true, but what I said is also true, which is that if as is the case, a disproportionate number of legal immigrants go to blue states, they amplify the effect of a blue state vote. And the math, as I understand it, you can research this obviously very easily on there. It's pretty straightforward to research this. But my understanding is that there would be that the Democrats would lose approximately 20 seats in the House if illegals were not counted in the census, and that's also 20 less electoral votes for president. So the illegals absolutely do affect the who controls the House and who controls the presidency. It does not affect the Senate.
So then is Hot
Yes,
Wheels
he's right.
complicit? Wait. Is Hot Wheels complicit in getting these people, sending the illegals to blue states? Is that compounding it and making
Sure
it
it is.
worse?
Sure it is, because here's what happens. Like he's saying, if this is true, and I guess I need to do some research, if the census counts every head that's in the state, in the United States, if the census counts the population, regardless of where they came
Then
from,
leave them
it
in
just
the red
counts heads.
states.
It counts heads. And what that does, though, and see, every census, they always say every 10 years they come out and they say, well, it's important, you need to report, the census. You need to, report who you are and how many people are in the household, because that affects, how many representatives you get. They always say that. Okay, so let's say California lets in 5 million illegals. And so the next census, we got 5 million new people in California. Well, guess what? They need more. They've taken away, they're getting more representation because of the number of people who are there, because those people need to be represented. However, should they be represented if they're illegals? Because they got counted, and the fact that they're going to vote, like you said, they're going to vote Biden. Because they look at Joe Biden as a savior. Hey, he led us into America. He made us free.
Right.
And
so it'd
so
almost be
California
better
now has 100 electoral votes
if they stayed in Texas to
and
have
more
more
representatives.
seats in Texas. that would be red.
Well, either way, I mean, if you leave them in Texas, I mean, Texas is going to turn more blue because you're going to get more representation to represent more people, and those people are going to be. It's going to be blue. They're going to have more votes. I mean, you're going to have.
Sounds like a lose-lose.
It is a lose-lose. And I mean, you can't be, and this is, okay, so first of all, the theory, it's complicated. I mean, the theory is the Democrats first won a popular vote. They're like, hey, we want a popular vote. You know, we can't have, you know, this state, you know, on all, because it's 55% Republican and 45% Democrat, you know, they get all the electoral votes, you know, because, you know, it's not split, you know, and so it all goes to vote. I can't even explain it right.
Is the electoral college part of our?
I don't think it's necessary. No, I think it's more systemic. You know, it's more at the beginning of it to where you're counting the votes wrong. You're counting the people wrong and apportioning, like you said, that's the word, apportioning more power to those states that have more people. Unfortunately, those people are going to be more blue in an essence, you know, in a, you know, that come in here. It's going to be more Democratic leaning. That's what it's going to be. And so they're going to have more votes in that state that go, you know, to vote for the president. I get what he's saying. It's kind of a tough one to get around.
Yeah.
The fact is, it used to be, and let's see, this is kind of, you can call it racist, you know, landowners are the only ones that get to vote because they got skin in the game. You know, so that leaves out all these other people, you know, they don't feel represented because, you know, well, shit, you know, I'm a slave, you know, I can't vote, you know, I'm supposed to have human rights and I don't have human rights. I'm 3/5 of the person and I can't vote, you know, so it's a tough thing. I don't know. I don't have the answer.
So if
That's
you
the
guys
problem.
want to meet, show up at the Team Mighty event and support the cause, and you can meet each other. People are wanting me to hook them up. I'm not going to share people's information privately, but Mark.
But I mean, again, you know, some of this stuff gets really complicated and it gets really tough to get your head around. And, you know, we just had a primary Tuesday of this week on the 19th. And, you know, the giant voter turnout was like 25%.
Oh, you're kidding.
No,
so they did not talk about, we had a primary here a couple weeks ago and nobody was talking about it. No media was talking about it. No news stations were talking about it. Like most people didn't even know it was happening.
Right.
And I'm sure that was on purpose.
And those are local decisions. Most of them are local elections. And I mean, you know, face it, you know, Trump got like 80+% of, you know, of the vote, you know, for the primaries, you know, because who else is running? Nobody's running anymore, you know, so it's just a protest vote, you know, on the Republican side, you know, and Biden, of course, gets all of them because nobody else is running for his side. But it's a lot of the votes. There was one in a county adjacent to mine. There were board members elected, and there were 3 people that got elected, and the 4th person lost by 1 vote.
Oh, man.
So it's like, oh man, you know, if 2 people had showed up, you know, 2 husband and a wife showed up and voted for the other guy or him, he would have been the 3rd guy, you know. So I mean, they do matter, and there's very few votes that get those people elected. And so now, you know, those 3 people that got, you know, enough votes, didn't take that many, you know, now they get to make decisions at the county level because they're on the county board. And I mean, so those are more impactful, I think, than worrying about what the president of the corporation is going to do next. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just that's where it counts. And everybody can be an election judge. I mean, anybody can sign up. I mean, they're always screaming for them. Hey, we need more people to be an election judge. Come and take the class, you know, and monitor stuff and do, you know, they're always looking for that. And so, you know, until we go local and really solve it at that level, because, you know, your life is local. I mean, how often do you go to DC and, you know, schmooze with these people and have steak dinners on a Friday night and be able to lobby them? You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like, that doesn't happen. And Ted Cruz, like I said last week, was worried about, oh my gosh, you know, they're spending $100 million to take my Senate seat. And it's like, yeah, but it's a Senate seat in Washington where you represent people. It's not that it's all about bringing money back to the district, bringing money back to Texas. And it's just like, okay, but if we focus on the local stuff and if we fix the money at a local level, then to me, it all comes down to the money. It really does, because at the national level, they can create money since 1913 into oblivion. They just created 1.2 trillion that they're going to fund the government with. Next year, the budget's going to be $7 trillion. I mean, I was going to do the math today. I mean, how many people legitimately work and are supposed to pay taxes? I don't even know. Let's do the math right now. So let's say we got like 330 million people in the U.S., but most, we got a lot of kids that don't work. We got, so let's say we've got 200 million workers, which I don't even know if we have that many. So if we got $7 trillion next year that we need to make the government function, and divided by, let's say 200 million equals, now that's the other way, 200. See, I'm dyslexic. 200 million people divided by 7 trillion, make sure I get my zeros right, dollars, equals, somebody help me. Can't even do math.
What I'm trying to do. Start with the big number.
Right.
Divided
So we
by
need $7 trillion next year to make the country go. And we've got 200 million people that got to support that. How much is that per person out of your energy in dollars?
We don't pay it. They just.
I know, but that's my point, though. I'm just trying to make a point. Yeah, they're going to print it up no matter
Why
what.
do we even bother paying it?
I know. Why do we?
I'm over it.
I know.
I'm done with them stealing from me.
I
Warrior.
don't know.
Nobody's doing that right now.
At this point, what
Friday
difference
night.
does it make?
Yeah.
I guess is what it comes down to. Who's going to fix my ditch because somebody backed into it?
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, that's a long story. I hate solar
Mm.
panels at this point.
Oh, Lord. Nice.
Anyway,
Now you know.
yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, they can print the money up. They don't need us. I got a red heifer sacrifice. The third temple needs to be built, so we've got some, red heifers ready to be sacrificed. I've been hearing about this for a long time. That's going to be the apocalypse, or I shouldn't even say that. That's awakening. It's knowledge being spilled out. No, the Messiah is coming because we're going to sacrifice some cows that are unblemished, and we need a third temple. So, people believe in that.
Okay, so that's the Oster, or is that
The star, the East Star, or the Ostar,
Right,
yeah,
the
whatever.
Oster.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all right. The sun is rising. Sun, more light, more daylight. And that's where we're at. We've passed spring. There's a reason why these holidays, holy days, are at certain times of the year, because it really is. It's all about movement of the stars, the energy, the sun, creating energy at different times of the year. That's what produces food. That's what nourishes us. And so we apply certain demigods, images, whatever you want to call it, to those holidays so we can relate to them, and have a personification of nature, I guess you could say. So I don't know. It's all pagan stuff is really what it is. And we've got an overlay of religion on top of it, So anyway.
Anything else exciting?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
ruffling
don't
feathers, I'm sure.
apologize. I'm with you.
Ruffling feathers, I'm sure. Here's another thing that pisses me off. This week, I am pissed off about this. The cult of personality. When are we going to stop trying to ride the coattails of all these people, whether it be Bukele, Richard Hart, Satoshi Nakamoto, all these things that we give power to, and we think that they have, some epiphany of knowledge that we don't have, because you don't trust yourself, and because you live in darkness and you live in quiet solitude, and you don't think you have power, so you have to look to these people to lift you up. And at some point, you got to start making decisions that are going to benefit you at a personal level, benefit your family at a personal level. And I'm not denying, absolutely, you got to get connected to the source, whatever, that you want to call that. But it's just that, real people, people that are out there that are just people that, they're in it for themselves. And I mean, and why are you giving your energy to these people and thinking they're going to save you? And you think, you glom onto these people and you think that this is the way, these people, they're doing the right thing. And, I'm going to make more money or do whatever and be protected. What happens when they go away?
Well, I think that's where people think that they don't trust themselves, or they do trust themselves, but they believe that, I believe in community. I believe in community. I believe that it takes more than one person to fix this. And I believe that, we can do things together as a community, that we all have things to contribute. And if I can help somebody else with some of the heavy lifting, if they've got part of the answer and I have part of the answer, then yeah, I want to be part of that. So I think that with good intentions, that kind of thing happens. But I know that can also go astray, unfortunately.
Go read some Robert Burns, the Irish poet. We just had St. Patrick's Day. I think the poem was To a Field Mouse, I think was the title of it. But basically, the movie of Mice and Men, the book that Steinbeck wrote, and then the movies that came after it. The quote in it was, "The best laid schemes of mice and men gang after glay." And then translated, "The best laid schemes of mice and men go oft awry." In other words, everything that you think is going to happen, everything you've laid out, all the plans, all the things that you think this is the right way to go, sometimes it gets blown up. Sometimes it doesn't work out. And that's just the way it is. I mean, and so it's, put your faith in things that are temporal and people who go away. I mean, it's good to have that, community. It really is. It's good to have good people around you. But to think that, individual people are your saviors and are going to, they're looking out for you, that's not the case. It's not the case. No, Michael Saylor doesn't care what happens to me today. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Richard Hart does not care what I do today. Roger Ver does not care what happens to me today. Satoshi Nakamoto does not care what happens to me today and my family. Only you do.
Well, and even Trump.
Trump doesn't.
When people get all in my face about, oh, you love Trump so much, and I'm like, I even think, and I really struggled with this, that I thought it would be, although I thought that Trump did a lot of great things, he was the most peaceful president. I think that there's still a lot of things that he's doing that are amazing, but I do have that concern because I think that for us to be stronger as a nation, we have to learn that we are there to lift ourselves up and stop being victims and stop looking for government to fix everything. And if Trump comes back, then people go, oh, good, I can go back, stick my hands down my pants and watch football. You know what I mean?
Yes, the NCAA's on. I'll watch some basketball, baby. I don't have to worry about it. He closed the border. He's cut taxes. Meanwhile, $50 trillion in debt. Who's going to, make that right? I mean, it's just.
So those are my concerns. Like, we all have to get our big girl pants on, get our big boy pants on. And we have to say no when we're facing a tyrannical government. We have to say yes to doing the hard work and taking care of ourselves and our family. So
yep.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I know. We're all on the same page. I just, sometimes I can't express it correctly. But the vibe is basically that. It's trust yourself. I mean, know who you are, how valuable you are, and how much value your energy has. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trying to steal it every day. They wouldn't be trying to take it away. They would not be trying to beat you down. But they would not be, spraying stuff in the air, putting stuff in the food. I saw the Bayer, Bayer, like aspirin guy that bought Monsanto. They had the big lawsuit with glyphosate, paid out millions of dollars. He was on one of the mainstream news shows earlier this week saying glyphosate was one of the best things that ever happened to humanity. Glyphosate being Roundup, that was the trade name. No, it was the greatest thing because we can grow food, we don't have weeds, we can have all this, great production of food to feed the world. And I'm like, what kind of freaking bizarro madness, crazy world am I living in? Because I watched it, I'm like, I gotta rewind this and watch this again. Oh yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Wonderful thing. And then look into Bayer and the history of Bayer, what they've, go look into that on your own. Yeah. And it's just like, what in the...
And why are they into farming? Where is a drug company now
right.
one of the biggest farmers? That's
I don't know, man. It's just you gotta realize that they're not looking out for you. They're looking out for profits. They're looking out for more money, and it goes beyond that. It goes to more of a control structure to where basically they want to steal your soul and they want you to give your soul up. I mean, they can't really steal it. I mean, you have to voluntarily give it over is really what it comes down to. And that's why I always say trust yourself, because I mean, it's up to you to decide, just give up. I mean, and a lot of people have given up. A lot of people just caved and said, F it. You know, that's it. That's your choice. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but I mean, man, have a little more faith in yourself. And
Yeah.
you know, why are you giving up when it's like you got like 80 years on the earth? I mean, it's not that long, and then you're just going to give up. I mean, milk the shit out of what life you have, and fight the battle that you want to fight, and fight for your truth, and follow your path. Because I mean, they're not looking out for you. They just want to destroy you and just squeeze you. You know, vampires get that last bit of blood. You know, oh, I got, you know, almost all of it. I don't know how much blood's in the human body, but there's one more drop. I want to get that last drop. And that's how they think. And it's just, that's what they want. I mean, don't give yourself over to this crap. I mean, you know, we're not going to rise as human beings until we realize how important we are. And that all they want to do is just farm us and take everything out of us and steal all of our energy through the money, the labor, whatever it is, you know, that's all they want to do. And so don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. Be that pain in the ass. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Be that just person that gets in the way. And then, you know, hey, I did everything I could on your last day, and with no regrets. Don't live a life of regret and, you know, look back and say I could have done something. I should have done something. I had the capability to do something, but I did nothing. You know, and then that's on you. So hopefully.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
So I will not be doing spaces tonight because I have to be up at 3:30 in the morning to get in the vehicle at 4 in the morning and drive
Lord.
2 hours to Tulsa to be there at 6 in the morning to unpack and be ready to sell my wares. At 8.
Living on Tulsa time.
Living on Tulsa time. But you might be on tonight.
Yeah, I'll do a spaces. What time is it? 8:30 Central Time. I'll set it for 9 o'clock. So a half an hour from now, jump on spaces, go to clintwestwood.net. At the top, I've got a Twitter link. Follow me on Twitter, click on that, follow, hit your notifications. You'll see the tweet come out. You can jump in on spaces. You want the microphone, I'll hand you the microphone, and talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's really what it comes down to. We need to have an open dialogue. We need to have an open discourse to where we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. And you know, let's try and fix this stuff. Let's try and find solutions. Let's do things. The first solution that you should do is take possession of all your assets. And that's like the most important basic step that you can do if you're into crypto. Don't put it on an exchange. Don't think that you're going to get into an ETF and it's going to be fine and number go up. Once you put it on the ETF, once you give them your coins, every cycle this has happened. Mt. Gox, you know, and then we just saw the FTX thing. I mean, you know, it's just like the ETF thing now. It's like once you give your coins over and you let somebody custody those things. I told my dad the other day, I said, hey, if you go out and buy some silver, you're going to let somebody hold it for you? No. He says, absolutely not. Well, okay. Nobody should do that with their coins.
Yeah.
You know, take possession of it. Have it in your own possession. That's what you got to do. And you got to learn how to do that, figure out how to do that, and keep your energy close to you, keep your assets close to you, because we're moving into an asset-based economy. They want the assets, and they're making it easy for you to turn them over, and they're making it look really good to turn it over because price go up. But it goes up in casino chips, vampire casino chips, which are the Federal Reserve notes. Don't let them take your energy away. Hold it in your own possession, and then when this all falls out, you're going to be in a much better situation. And right now, you might want to look into Litecoin. Just saying. You've been warned.
You heard it here, folks. Make sure you have a little bit of food and water to get your family through any uncertain times. That's another way to have hard assets in your possession. Also, we really like lead as a precious metal at the Davis household. Be able
Nickels. Dave talked about that last night after I got.
What's yours?
checked out of Hash It Out because my battery died. But you can go into the bank, take $100 bill, and get $100 worth of nickels, and they are 75% copper and 25% nickel. Those are things that are valuable that you can get for basically make a little more money. Walking out of the bank, you put $100 bill into it, and you walk out, and you got more, and you got the metal. So
there you go. And community is another great asset to have.
Most
So I'm
important thing.
grateful
Most
for
important
you,
thing.
all of you that are watching. Thank you so much. Please give us a like, share the video, and join us again in the live chat because it means a lot when you guys are in here. You give great information, and we appreciate the exchange of energy. So if you want to support me and my work, you can check out Patreon. There's a link in the description. You can also go to litecoinlisa.net and find my other YouTube channel where you can find information about shopping with me and Mighty Merchants and all that stuff. And all the other ways you can connect with me. So check that out. We are selling tickets right now for the Team Mighty event to honor my daughter who passed at 7 years old. She's an amazing mighty warrior and brought us a lot of joy. And so we celebrate her birthday every year by honoring her life and giving to another person. And this year we're going to be donating money to Mighty Miller, who's a little boy who's fighting cancer right now. And so if you can, please buy a ticket. It's $50 to attend the event. And we're also celebrating Cher Bear, who was my children's nanny. She passed from cancer, and she was just a real amazing woman and a light. So we'll be telling stories about her as well. And we will have a auction. Thank you, Thurand, for donating the cowboy hat. We have a Stetson cowboy hat. We have the Catch jersey from that Tom had donated last year. I have some stuff from
Dwight
Jim.
Clark, Joe Montana to Dwight Clark, The Catch, documented in a big frame.
Yeah, and I have a football and a helmet from Jim that he donated last year. We'll have some other stuff. If you're interested in donating, you can donate to Team Mighty at P.O. Box 30501, Edmond, Oklahoma 73003. And that information's on my website, and you guys can find there or send me a link or send me a message. But I gotta go wash my hair and pick out my clothes for tomorrow and do all the things. So I'll have to and take my pure sleep so I can go to bed early enough so I can get up early enough and have a great day tomorrow. So thanks for
you
guys.
You still look marvelous. You always look marvelous.
Thank you. I'm excited about tomorrow. I hope to have some people stop by at the booth and get to share my love of antiques and finding little pieces of American history and rescuing them. I love it. So see you guys soon. Thanks, Westwood.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.